Omitakiyasen, namaste, sabe mere Christidar. So, tia, osio on my relatives. Well, oh my gosh. So, I didn't do a journal entry yesterday. I was in lavish land after receiving a 2-hour incredible massage. I'm telling you, you make it to Yuma, Arizona, you gotta go see this lady. She is amazing. And a whole 2 hours non-stop. And every once in a while she does do a real good dig in, but it is so gentle, but yet the energy work she puts in with it, I mean, it just melts things. So she like took the brick wall off of me because it felt like I had hit a brick wall the past few days prior, couple of days between the eclipse and the transits and Mars squaring Pluto. I'm not sure where all this anger was coming from, all this anxiety coming from my chest, having to go to the emergency room, couldn't find anything, but it wasn't until I went in there and she's like, how you doing? And I'm going, and she's like, what? She goes, what's going on? Because she says, quite a few of her clients are coming in going, and feeling like they hit a brick wall and can't hardly breathe in their chest, and I'm going, it's in the stars, it's in the planets, it's in the collective energy, it just is. And so, yeah, all the anger. It's like, where's all that coming from? It's like, whoa. And stuff that normally, wouldn't even bother me. Just kind of like, giggle it off and going, yeah, that's us silly humans. That kind of a thing. It is, Anyway, so, I was like beyond jello coming out of there and making it back to the apartment and lying in Shavasana and just, wow. And then getting this energy surge and getting started on a couple of my projects, and even reorganizing a few things, and then lay down and so forth. And then this morning got up, I passed out my normal 9 o'clock-ish, and slept through the entire night like a little baby. I don't know about that, because sometimes babies don't sleep through the night, but you know what I'm saying. Just slept through the night, and I remember having some really sweet dreams, and woke up at 33 and going, oh, wait a minute, take me back to the sweet, sweet lands, right? But I was ready to go. Did my entire morning routine as if I'd been doing it for eons. Even made it onto my All Our Relations fire ceremony. And instead of being in the background, I actually was like, hey, I felt like I'm back type of a thing. And it was a sweet, sweet ceremony. Our theme is about healing the divide between PLUs, people like us, which one of our grandmother sisters basically shared that she had shared it in a ceremony a day or two ago. I was on the ceremony but off camera and kind of being the owl observer in the background and listening because, well, you wouldn't have wanted me to come on because I was in this state, right? And my chest, and I couldn't hardly breathe and all that kind of stuff. And it's just, didn't want to distract and just really needed to be in my own space. Observing myself. And so, but she had shared, who is not people like us, right? If we're all one and everyone's a reflection of ourselves, everyone's a mirror of ourselves, then there's really no separation and we're all people like us. So basically healing the divide. We didn't really touch on that today in our ceremony, but it was a really good ceremony and it felt good to do one of the prayer stones again. And and then of course Rashini knows the routine. It's like, hey, it's time to go to the river. So we went and had an amazing walk and dipped into the Colorado River and left the prayer stone, and we came back and it was like, really need to get to the store, but I was feeling the archiness and the twinges and twangs and so forth in the atmosphere, in our atmosphere. And it's like, no, I'm staying in the apartment. And continued on with the day. And then I got sat straight up out of a meditation. You need to get to the store. Like, okay, you need to get these other items, which I had kind of gathered through, kind of doing another sweep through. It's like, get it all out of here. So we went to the Little Humane Society thrift shop, and the couple of things, not much, but just a couple more little things, dropped those off and went to the post office to get supplies needed to send off the last of my birthday gifts. Yeah, it's been a little bit, but I'm on a little bit of a budget, so get those taken care of. So I got what I needed and needed to stop and get some coconut water. I use coconut water for my little meal shake that I make in the mornings. And then was like, okay, we need to get water. So I went to get water, and got stocked up on the water. Anyway, and that's when it was like, oh, the arguiness is starting back up again. Get back to the apartment, because usually I get all those errands done before 10 o'clock in the morning, which means there's not a whole lot of people out and about. And there were more people out and about. And part of it was my own mistake in that I usually put Rashini in his bag, and then he sits in the little seat, children's seat of a cart. And I was like, oh, I'm just picking up a couple of things. I'm not gonna do all of that. Well, people don't pay attention. Even though he's got an orange vest on, usually they're used to seeing a service dog that's much bigger than a little Chiweenie, right? A little 12-pound Chiweenie. Well, he's 11 pounds. So I had to do a lot of, keeping him safe. He's supposed to be serving me, right? And I'm doing my best to keep him safe from people who aren't paying attention. They're just running around. A couple times we almost got hit in the car. And it's like, oh my God, get me out of here, get me out of here, get me out of here. So yeah, I am really had that whole argy thing starting back up again. Get back to the apartment. So we did. And sweetgrassing and saging myself several times today, each time we went out. Like, oh my gosh. So it has me like practically yelling at Mother Earth, going, just do your thing. Just do your thing. You know? And then of course, the landlord, okay, so now he's got this lady that's sending these, we hope everything is just fine with you. By the way, you owe us money. And I'm going, oh, really? It's electricity. It's electricity. It's not rent. And it's like, wow, okay, even your loan people, you make a payment every single month. As long as you are making a payment and you're showing that you're trying. Maybe it's different here in Arizona. I don't know. But it's like, really? So I'm sitting down trying to write them back. And I've got a draft done up, but I haven't sent it because I need to look over it one more time and go, okay, am I being kind and clear? Am I sharing truth? Am I being impeccable with my word? The whole 4 agreements thing. Excuse me. And so, yeah. It's not like I'm a terrible tenant. I'm not, all that kind of stuff. But it's my understanding from our gatekeeper, who's been living here for many, many years, was even a maintenance person for this landlord for many years, that you owe him money, doesn't matter how much it is, he's gonna hound you. So I've kind of gotten over that a little bit, but now I'm like, anyway, so yeah, you're on a limited income, You're a veteran who is just trying to get back on your feet, and yet it's not like I'm not making payments. And it's not rent. He is receiving his full rent, receiving the full amount of rent. So threatening with late charges, threatening with, you've got 5 days or we're gonna, the agreement is no longer blah, 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 blah. And I go to my HUD-VASH lady and caseworker, and she contacts you. She's got to do this with practically every single one of us veterans with this particular landlord. Anyway, so I love my apartment. I'm very, very grateful for it. And I'm really, really grateful, for being able to get back on my feet, so to speak, and become completely in my own sovereignty, so to speak. And definitely a good landlord in that, you call maintenance, and usually not even by the end of the day, it's taken care of. At the most, maybe the next day. So those kinds of things is wow, it's definitely not what you would call a slumlord. Has to keep it all in the up and up because it's all Section 8. However, beyond that, it's like, where's the compassion? Where's the understanding? Where's the, and as I'm traveling through town, I see the name on like almost every other apartment complex. It's like, wow, okay. Bit of a monopoly here, maybe? I don't know. That's not what I wanted to share. So going beyond that, I'm really loving how things are coming together. Rashini and I've got this bit of a routine, a bit of a schedule, and he holds me to it, which I'm grateful for. But yeah, made it, halfway through the day? Halfway through the day before it really began to realize, because we went down to go to the park. Evening walk. It's our evening walk. We go down to the little park here. And again, out into the public and the people-y and the energies, and it's like, is starting back up again, and I'm going, whoa, okay. I keep hearing putting Garuda, the electric bike, up for sale. Now, my deciphering is, or discernment is this coming from my head? Because, yeah, buying Garuda, insurance, the whole 9 yards, took a toll. And we've got a few more days left of the month. And then I'm looking at the gas tank going, what's going on here? Of course, I really, the other day we was down at the park, there was a little rose sitting on my one tire, and the little doohickeys on my tires were loose. I'm going, So I need to check the pressure on the tires, but it's like, she's sucking gas again, and she was doing so good. And I'm going, okay, well, we've made it how many months now? On foot and then on e-bike. So I'm going, and I'm so missing the motorcycle and wind therapy. So I've come to the conclusion this evening as we were coming back from the park, there was even a police officer down there at the park, and there's all this traffic and you know, normally it doesn't bother me that people are like, you know, having to go around Rashini and I on these little bike paths, right? Which takes me to you know, he was trained by an 8-year-old to walk on the left-hand side of the road. And a bike path is the same thing on the trails. Same thing. He walks on the left. Kind of makes it scary, you know, when you're walking down shopping complexes because you never know when someone's going to swing the door open, right? Normally you want to walk away from where the door's going to open. But I pay attention to that because if I try to walk on the other side, he just doesn't catch that. That's his training. He was trained to walk on the left side. And so, you know, you get these and these wild looks, and normally it doesn't bother me. Well, with all of the argy energy, it's like, wow. And that is the Mars Pluto square. And all of the anxiety, all of the anger, all of that stuff, it kind of really brings it to the forefront. And 9 times out of 10, many times you don't even know where all of that is coming from, which is true for a majority of it for me. Some of it, it's like, oh, I've worked. But, so we make it back, and on the way back, I'm going, we're keeping Garuda for a while, because unless it's needed, you know, to get somewhere during the day or to go to the grocery or certain things, it's like I'm parking Hoopsie, fill up the tank, she's all loaded up and ready to go. If we need to bug out of here for any reason and just grab, you know, a few extra things here, and I got a bag to toss all that into. But pulling that e-bike back out, I'm gonna bring out Garuda again, because we can make it all the way to the park and back. We can make it to the wetlands and back. We can use her, and he enjoys it. I enjoy it. It's a little bit more of, you know, it's not like, well, with the motorcycle, you know, you've got the helmet, the leather coat, you know, you have to gear up and gear down. With Garuda, it's, you gotta lock her up, unlock her, lock her up, unlock her, park her here, park her there. No big deal. It's just a few extra steps. It takes a little bit longer. But it's wind therapy. And I miss that wind therapy. I really miss my iron pony. So there's been some grieving also with this arginess. It's like a mixture of anger, grief, and well, I don't know. also decided we really just need to take a weekend and go somewhere, not too far, just go somewhere for the weekend and sleep on the Mother Earth, directly on her again, underneath the trees. I miss the national forests. I miss the campgrounds. I really miss it. I think it's part of it is Yuma's not a big city, but she's still a city. It's not like a little town. I've done pretty damn well. I've done pretty damn well. I'm very proud of myself. But I do miss it. And I miss my mom. But I do have a sister that we just talk. It's like a respite for each of us. So in a way, pretty sweet. I know she was sharing the other day that how powerful a sister is, and swooshed this energy out of the AOR room. And I'm going, no, it's not her, it's you. Because what you see is a reflection of yourself. She doesn't think she's that powerful, but she is. She doesn't think she's one of us, so to speak, a wisdom keeper. She is. She really is. A very surrendered, beautiful soul. I don't know how she does all the caretaking that she does. I would have just set out the bills and said, you know, you're a grown person, you got a good hand, you can grab this little pill container and drop the pills in your mouth. You know what time, when it's 4 o'clock, you know when it's 1 o'clock. Drink a glass of water. I'll see you at breakfast, I'll see you at lunch. It's funny, that's what my Kathleen does for my dad. Now, she has to do the eye drops and she does little reminders, but you know, he's a grown man. He can do it. I wouldn't be a very good caretaker. I'm a great caretaker for non-human animals. Oh my gosh. I kept 30 dogs straight and knew exactly who ate what, when, and whose poop was whose poop, and you know, I mean, I could take care of a pack of dogs in a heartbeat. I could take care of the animals in a heartbeat. When it comes to humans, well, ex-partner of mine was like, well, I wish I was a dog because you would be a better caretaker. And I'm like, I'm not a caretaker for humans. that's not a forte of mine. I have the compassion and I have the understanding most of the time. And it's not that I don't care and won't ask and those kinds of things, but it's like the human stuff just flies right over my head. guess if I saw, and I do, I see humans as animals, but on a different intellectual level, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll contemplate that one a little bit more. I mean, if someone was incapacitated, didn't have the right mind or something like that, I did real good with Alzheimer, dementia, Alzheimer, elder. However, I guess if I was there all the time with her, maybe that would be different. But yeah, you wouldn't want me as a nurse. Just being honest, we all have our fortes, and that is not one of mine. For dogs? Heck yeah. I remember feeding this bulldog once, ate meatballs off of a fork. Hey, I'm there. I'm definitely an animal caretaker. A non-human animal caretaker. Anyway. So, yeah, I think it's getting getting Hoopsie all, she's almost 100% there, and leaving her part. Unless it's something like the grocery. And even that, I was doing a pretty daggone good job on the e-bike, with our supplies and so forth, and that'll save a lot as far as fuel goes and mileage goes, and you know, those kinds of things. Excuse me. And then that way it's just and go. But I think we're gonna take a weekend trip, and I have a feeling I know where that's gonna be. Got a Red Spirit or a Run for the Res coming up, and I'm pretty sure there's a park fairly close. Really, it doesn't matter, because we can pull her in, do our camp, pull up camp, go to the run, go back to camp, hang out. That'll keep me out of the other stuff, you know, because I remember, wasn't this past year, it was the year before, I slept in the floor of one of the rooms of the sisters, and of course to get back into the room, you know, I had to wait for them, which meant when they wanted to stop at the bar, and of course they went on into the bar, and I watched the bikes because I wasn't going into the bar. It's just not my thing. And then I rode in the back, like, you guys right up front. I don't want you behind me, and I'm following at a distance in case y'all do something cuckoo, because I don't like riding with people who drink. And yeah, just keep me out of all of that. And of course, I'll be in a vehicle in Hoopsie versus on a bike, because I've ridden bitch before, and I don't care how good of a rider you are. I rode on back of someone who I trusted, was a very good rider, And then he started doing some stupid stuff because, well, he thought it was funny. So I'm like, no, I'm not putting myself in that situation ever again. Anyway, I'm going to call this good for the night because I'm really trying to keep my journal entries under 30 minutes and I've already gone 5 minutes over. So